right, welcome to the obligatory video on Autumn Queen, the brand new hero as of today. So she came out with this update right here where you can now hurdle. Is still disabled as of recording this, but I'm sure it'll be more of a thing in the future. She also came out with a matching map. So we have a new biome. It's available in Plankerton on up, and it's kind of cool. Matches the theme, super fun, and her ability goes as follows. She makes it so that when you tame an animal and you shockwave with the hero, the animal gets a shockwave as well. You're probably seeing footage on screen. I recorded a bunch of it for you guys, and it's pretty straightforward in that regard. Her commander perk makes it so that when your pet hits enemies with that shockwave, it'll gain 1.5 seconds of frenzy for every enemy it hits. So if you hit 6 enemies, it'll do whatever 1.5 times 6 is. That feels like 9. I'm going to stick to it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't care. But it also makes them attack 50% faster. So it's kind of a bonus to the animals, but AI kind of sucks right now. So I'll probably harp on that a bit later. My point is that's just how it works. It's kind of a nice ability. And if you're interested in unlocking her, that is probably a question I'm going to get a lot. I cannot show it because I already unlocked her. But if you have done Plankerton Storm Shield Defense 1, if you have completed that quest, you should have her available in the side quests section. You'll have to do 4 pretty easy challenges. First, you have to destroy like 25 mushrooms in the new biome. Then you have to do 10 mist monsters in that same biome, 9 survivors saved, and then you just explore the whole thing. It's a pretty straightforward set of challenges, and then she is available as a purple hero. I have some opinions on that. I'm not a huge fan of them releasing, was it home base heroes? I don't actually know where she is. I haven't found her in the collection book yet, but my point is, she's a campaign hero, which is kind of dumb to do it that way. Yeah, you can see she's the only campaign hero that's ever come out as purple, which I don't know. You have to spend 100 flux. It's not that big of a deal for us endgame players, but if you're a newbie, 100 flux is a lot to spend on a hero who is arguably mediocre. I know plenty of you probably just clicked off the video, but you can kind of imagine that. She is actually kind of nice. I'm going to show a lot more gameplay on here showing what you can do with her. So first and foremost, it actually saves your animal when it's in the middle of a fight. So this is something that happens often where your animals just run off, engage a bunch of enemies, and then kill themselves. They did kind of fix this in a recent update where animals have a lot more health, which is actually super useful, but you can save them by just shockwaving. It's kind of an interesting thing where you can shockwave, and then anywhere on the map, wherever your animal is, that shockwave will happen, and they'll enter frenzy mode to hopefully save themselves from whatever situation they got involved in. That is a pretty cool bonus in my opinion, and you can also use Seawolf Jonesy in the lead to get triple shockwave. Now, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself there, but it's a pretty cool loadout I'll get into after I mention this, which is super speed. I am sure this is a bug. I'm certain they'll fix this, but if you shockwave and then get onto your animal really quickly, you go super fast for some reason. I think this will stack with Archetype Havoc. If you have him, then you can use that. He's also a campaign hero, so he's not too hard to get. You might have put him in the book like Mateo did. I don't think you should do that. He's really good in dungeons because a lot of the best heroes for dungeons are like Minigun or Carbide, where I think you have a shockwave with Carbide. Either way, you get around the map a lot quicker in dungeons. So he's a good hero to have just for that, but I think he might stack with this where you just go super fast on an animal. It's just super fun. I don't think that's going to stay forever, but I want to get to that build that I was talking about in a second, where Seawolf Jonesy is really useful. So all of the bonuses for shockwave stack on your animal. He will do more damage if you have Seawolf Jonesy in the lead or support. Shockwave cooldown doesn't really apply to the animal, but it still works. And there aren't that many shockwave perks. You can use the one more hero, Fallen Love Ranger. No, normal Love Ranger, where the shockwave radius is increased. That is also a hero that exists with Powerhouse, where he's the starter pack hero. He's a clone of the same thing, but that radius will be bigger for your animal as well. And then finally, the egg bombs should be working. It's a tracked bug right now that is not functioning. So if you have egg bombs, that should be working on the animal in the future. As of recording, that doesn't work, but that would be a very good bonus. That's a lot of extra damage and support, and it goes a long way. But with Seawolf Jonesy in the lead, you do 55% more damage, and it activates again. So you can see versus these two smashers, I was doing fairly well. Like I said early on in the video, it's not some new top meta pick. This is not going to be the best build ever, but it is something that's really nice. So I'm going to actually disable my stream chat because I had the infinite wisdom to record this on stream, and then give you kind of an overview of what I was working with. So we have Seawolf in the lead, Doppler effect for the cooldown because you really want it, Happy Holidays because you really want it. Doppler effect in the lead, I think brings it down to like a 7-second shockwave cooldown. It's not a ton, but yeah, Autumn Queen Queen, of course, is the whole reason we're talking about any of this. And then I just made like a basic assault build in coconuts because I wanted this to be somewhat useful. Autumn Queen in the lead, though, with Seawolf Jonesy in support was also pretty fun. Most of my footage has been with that. I did take away Lexa as per lots of comments, rightfully suggesting that I show the hero I'm showing off in my videos. I often just use a cosmetic and completely forget about it. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to blind you guys, but with Autumn Queen visible, you can see that it's a pretty good thing all around. You get a second shockwave if the animal's right next to you. It saves the animal from harm, but all in all, this is the thing I wanted to complain about, where I believe it's kind of a fruit of the poison tree deal, where I showed this a long time ago with Phoenix, where Phoenix makes it so the animals can explode when they tick, when they hit an enemy, it ticks them with like an explosion. I don't remember exactly how it works. That's how forgettable this hero was, because animals are bad, it makes Gia and Phoenix bad as well. And if I were to remake this drawing, I would just put Autumn Queen on the same tree, because I actually think this is a good perk. Is it S tier? No, of course, but it's decent. It's actually kind of fun. And if Shockwave did a bit more damage, or if animals, you know, hit enemies the way they're supposed to, that would be a really, really nice thing to see. But because animals are so bad, she's going to be bad alongside them. So it's not that amazing. And then there are a couple of bugs. So the first one is not necessarily a bug, but it does not function on dead animals to my experience. That would have been a little weird if you could have just let your wolf die in the middle of a tunnel, and then whenever you shockwaved, you just damaged enemies. I don't know if that's an amazing strategy, but I'm glad that we're not utilizing dead animals. I think that would have been a little weird. But the bug that I wanted to talk about is the fact that Gia does not work with this. So if I actually go back to the home base report, it was specifically recommended to pair this perk with Gia. Gia only works with Outlanders. So if you don't remember who Gia is, let me just go find her together with you guys here. So Gia should be a very recognizable hero. I almost never scroll past her, except that I probably just did. There we go. Yeah, basically when you deal damage, wildlife heal. Pretty straightforward, but that only works with Outlanders. I don't believe that's intentional, but it does mean that it's kind of hard to heal animals. If you use an Outlander in the lead, you can have a good time, but it's kind of up in the air for now. So right now she does not function, but in the future it would be a really, really good combo. I would probably throw her into that loadout I was just showing. And then finally, I've got my old 6-second shockwave build. So if you want to build kind of the most beefed out shockwave build you can, I'll link this video down below. It's kind of fun. Maybe I can skip ahead to some gameplay here. I will add, by the way, Seawolf Jonesy did not exist when I made this video. So the reason I'm not using him in support is because he didn't exist. I do believe a 55% damage bonus is nice to have in support. That's a huge bonus for Shockwave, but it's not something that was a thing at the time. So yeah, Autumn Queen, fun hero, lots of potential, but there are a few things that need to happen. Gia needs to work, animals need to be better. I think an animal team perk is very necessary. I pitched this in pretty much every animal video, but I feel like an animal team perk, call it whatever on theme name you want, makes it so that every animal hero in support adds another animal you can tame. That's the idea I've had since the beginning, and I want to keep pitching it because I think it's a great idea. If you could have a pack of 4 or 5 wolves paired with this ability where you shockwave and they all shockwave at the same time, could you imagine a fun Reddit clip of an entire encampment going away from one shockwave? Whew! That would be really fun. That would be really fun. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I feel like we need a lot more with animals, and they keep adding these heroes. So Epic clearly believes in whatever idea they're working towards here. I just wish I wish they'd be useful along the way. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. And check me out on Twitch, link down below. Subscribe if you're new, and take it easy. And then